We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom. My name is Armin Navabi.
And I'm Ali Samani. We are your Iran experts. And today, the rift and fractures are widening in the Islamic Republic. Ghalibaf, Pezeshkian, generals have all come out and said their own piece here. We're going to get into that and tell you why. They are saying these crazy things. I mean, in Islamic Republic state media today, you have a wide range of statements from the president of the Islamic Republic saying, I spoke to the supreme leader, I know what's best, and I know that we have to go back towards negotiating. While the hardliner generals are saying, that's a load of crap, we have to go to war, we're going to actually strike American companies in the Middle East, we're actually going to strike all the countries who are hosting them as well. And then weird statements like them openly bragging on Islamic Republic state media, saying we hired hitmen already to assassinate the son of Donald Trump and other members of his family. All of that, plus the economic rifts are widening and collapsing. Why is the Islamic Republic saying these things now? For months, we heard analysts say the Islamic Republic is stronger. They came out of this winning. They're going to turn into a superpower, etc. I just caught myself saying etc. And other things. That's not really true, is it? Because now they're coming out and saying we have to make a deal or else our economy is going to kaboom. So the first one, the biggest one that has made the most amount of headlines is Pezeshkian. Ladies and gentlemen, that Pezeshkian was going to play this card by not playing it, except now he's forced to play it. When he had a 7-hour-long meeting with the supreme leader, we told you guys that he did that just to say, I know what's best. And don't mess with me unless I give my view and I say that the supreme leader was behind, approving negotiations or approving war. Well, he's actually under so much fire in the past couple of days, the past 48 hours, all state media in the Islamic Republic, particularly IRGC media, is going for Pezeshkian's head. They're throwing him under the bus like never before. And he has to come out and said this. There it is. Pezeshkian just said, it's not just me saying we need to negotiate and end the war. It's the supreme leader's will that has to say it. Interestingly enough, Pezeshkian is now being thrown into the camp of the supreme leader, more aligned with Vahidi than he is Ghalibaf at this point. That's what I think. He's playing this side. Let's hear what other people have had to say about this as well, but let's discuss this first. So, not only did he make this statement, but look at what he did today as well. He gathered the heads of the government of the Islamic Republic in this very humble meeting. I mean, look at them, just 3 dudes at a table. Look at them showing off. We're just normal people like everyone else. We just have a couple bottled waters and etc. No, not really. Armin, why did this even need to happen? Why is he gathering up the heads? That's Ghalibaf on the left. That's Ejei on the right. And why is he saying we need to end the war? The supreme leaders behind ending the war.
So, guys, these are the head of the 3 branches: executive in the middle, judiciary on the right, legislative on the left. So basically, this is the government, right? Not the entirety of the regime, but the entirety of the government, what they call the government in Iran. That's all of them right there, right? Which is weird why they're still alive, by the way. Wink, wink. But so they are on the same page. They want to capitulate big time to the Americans. All three of them agree. And Pezeshkian and Ghalibaf both came out and gave out speeches that was unprecedented, admitting that things are tough, really tough, which might not seem like a big deal to you guys. Like, okay, we know that, Armin, but they are admitting it in a way that they did not admit before. and not only that, so Ghalibaf actually came out and said that we're not going to be able to survive this, which is an extreme language. This from people who are acting like they're winning everything. They're like, we're not going to be able to survive this. And Pezeshkian, though, he was a little bit more cautious about he talks. He says that we should end the war now while we from a position of a strength, as if they're in a position of a strength, instead of but he also suggested that we're going to get weaker and weaker if we keep fighting with the Americans. So this shows some extreme level of desperation, and this could only mean that the economic isolation of the Islamic Republic is working, is really working. It's really working. But here's the problem, Ali, for them. Okay, so the thing is that the isolation is working a bit too well, right? Here's what I think. Because it's working too well, it's making these people want to come to the negotiating table to accept everything that the Americans were asking for, right? But because it's working a bit too well, the Americans are asking for more now. So the Americans are noticing the level of desperation of the Islamic Republic, and they're not interested in what they were asking before. So the better the Americans get at putting pressure on the Islamic Republic, their asks also keeps moving. So the Islamic Republic some parts of the Islamic Republic, these guys are trying to chase now, go back to the negotiating table and offer the Americans what they wanted before. But what they're finding is the more desperate they get, the bigger the American demands is getting.
That's going to be harder and harder for them to accept, won't it? And remember, guys, we've been talking for months about that dwindling regime supporter base. It's going to be harder for them to accept it, too. It's getting doomy and gloomy for them. The Minister of the Economy of the Islamic Republic also said, guys, there's a possibility here that we might have to dissolve several major banks. That's something I don't see talked about. Ladies and gentlemen, how would you feel if you tried to withdraw your money only to find out that there is nothing left in any of your accounts, in any of your banks? All the major banks of the United States have now dissolved. You might think that that's an exaggeration and a crazy piece of talk, but it's actually happened multiple times before. It's nothing new. In fact, there are strikingly similar problems between Russia and the Islamic Republic at the moment. Gas shortages, rolling blackouts, no money in the banks left, dictator at the helm, and a lot of internal coups that are potentially rising. I wonder which is going to fall first, to be honest with you. Although I would bet the Islamic Republic, as they don't have hundreds of thousands of nuclear weapons. Pezeshkian has made his move. Yeah.
Talking about banks, Gene is saying they better get their money now. Here's the problem.
Oh.
They're like the money, you can't really use that much money outside of the bank. A lot of Iranians rely on bank transactions, online payments, cards. Many stores don't even accept cash. That's the problem with inflation. Like, you can't just carry all that money with you all the time, right? So many stores, you go there and you bring, like, you want to bring cash, or like, yeah, sorry, we don't accept that. Do you have a card? So it's hard to live without having your money in the bank.
Also, if everyone tried to withdraw their money at the same time, that'd be a bank run. It's not too good. But they can't. So the Islamic Republic actually put in, the banks put in mechanisms. You actually can't withdraw a certain amount of money. You can't withdraw more than like a few dollars at a given time. It's crazy. It's so low. They just don't have any money left. So every time they come out and they spend extravagant amounts of money on ceremonies and whatever bullcrap that they need to do, that just aggravates people even more. A lot of economic moves have happened between Iran and Iraq, which is actually concerning me a little bit. We'll get into that too. So let's take a look at one of the newspapers.
Wait. Shana is saying this is working so well. I love economic fury. Hugh knew all it takes to take down the regime is a pretty gay man. So, that's good. Scotty B. Yes. Thank you, Shana. Okay,
Armin,
yes.
look at this. This is the headline newspaper of the day. That is
So
the side profile of the that's the side profile of the head of the central bank of the Islamic Republic. And Armin, what does the headline tell us?
Oh my God, guys, this is a newspaper from the Islamic Republic itself. And I think it's a reformist, so-called reformist newspaper, saying صادرات نفت صفر. They're saying export of oil is now zero. And they have the side profile of the head of the central bank saying that. So they're admitting they have zero oil export right now. Guys, this is not President Trump saying this. This is a newspaper, official newspaper of the Islamic Republic, admitting that their export of oil is now zero. Unbelievable. Wow.
So for any of you who might not know, if you're watching this for the first time, the Islamic Republic is a socialist, Islamist type of economy government, semi-cap, not really capital, but anyway, they get most of their money from the national oil sales that they have. So the government owns the oil corporate. Government owns pretty much everything. They get their money, the government budget from oil, and they don't sell any oil. The head of the central bank came out in a famous interview a couple days ago saying, we don't have any oil exports. We can't even access our frozen funds. It's over for us unless we make a deal. And now you hear the president, the parliament speaker, all these people coming out and saying, we need to make a deal. Who is not in favor of making a deal? And actually, the political games that are happening right now is a little bit similar to what Donald Trump likes to employ. Donald Trump likes to and has done. He sets Marco Rubio and he sets JD Vance to do their own thing. Doesn't give them direction. Sees who does what and sees who wins. If Marco Rubio turns out to be more popular with his policies this month, Donald Trump will back Marco Rubio. And if JD Vance is more, let's negotiate, and that seems to be gaining momentum, Donald Trump will push the negotiation front. Khamenei family, the supreme leader, is no different than that. In fact, it's a very standard political move. What's happening right now, in my opinion, is that the supreme leader, if he exists, is seeing what is the path that will destroy us less. What's the least hurtful one? I get that we have to cut off a couple of our limbs here, but or maybe lose an eye or two, but how can we survive this? Okay, I'll put a bunch of the people like Ghalibaf, Pezeshkian, and them, I'll tell them we need to negotiate. And it makes sense because they had the government. Then I'll tell our IRGC commanders like Rezai, no, we need to go to war. We will go to war unless the Americans back down. And we'll see what's more popular here. I only need to keep that 3 to 5% of my supporters on my side. If they choose war, we go to war. If they choose negotiations, we go to negotiations. We're going to keep a close eye on what people say. We even have a section called Allegrams, where we do give you guys messages from regime supporters today and yesterday. So now that we've heard that Pezeshkian has made his move, the president of the Islamic Republic, and what a heavy move it is. Now let's take a look at what Ghalibaf has done. Some of you may know that Ghalibaf went to Iraq. Why is that important? We found out shortly afterwards that Prime Minister al-Zaidi actually told us, oh, the Islamic Republic is letting us send our oil tankers through now. About a third of it. I think I wrote down the number here. So yes, according to the Islamic Republic, 1/3 of Iraq's pre-war export volume has now received an Iranian license to cross the Strait of Hormuz. Iraq is the country that's hurt the most over the past 6 months from this war and from the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Getting 1/3 of their revenue back is by no small means is no small number. This is going to be billions of dollars that they desperately need. However, Armin, do you know what Al-Zaidi had to offer in return for making all this money? If you had to guess, what would it be?
In return of what exactly?
So the Islamic Republic is letting him send 1/3 of their oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
No danger.
So that's
not for free.
Yes, this is what we were wondering early, right? What leverage does the Islamic Republic has if they want to get Hashd al-Shabi to disarm by giving their weapons to the Islamic Republic? That's what the Islamic Republic wants, so that they could give it back to to be able to give it back to Hashd al-Shabi at a later date. So I was guessing if I was Ghalibaf, I would threaten them by causing war between Hashd al-Shabi and Saudi Arabia as a threat, so that they capitulate to my demand. But you're saying that now we know is allowing Iraq to ship their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. That's what they're offering, because that's not a very strong offer, because ships are going through the Strait of southern routes of Strait of Hormuz with not that much of a problem, because of the Americans being present there, and also because the Islamic Republic is blind, given all the bombardments on southern Iran. They don't have much of a radar system to be able to see the commercial ships. As long as they turn off the transponders, they get to go through without the Islamic Republic being able to find them.
Correct. Now we know the effects of the 13-day of bombing the southern coast of the Islamic Republic is now apparent. The Islamic Republic has been blind. We've said that for a while. It's way worse than we thought, though. They really don't see anything that's going on. They just fire at whatever ships that they can. In fact, they fired another couple of missiles tonight. More explosions were ringing out in the Strait of Hormuz. We don't know if any were hit or if they were intercepted or what. But why is Iraq so important in this? They have the most important proxy of the Islamic Republic, called the PMF. That's going to be in charge of suppressing the Iranian people. The whole deal is Ghalibaf goes to Iraq and says, listen, man, we got an uprising coming up in Iran soon. The Iranian people are going to rip us a new one. We need your proxies to be intact. So here's what we're going to offer you. You've been hurt the most out of any Middle Eastern country from this oil crisis. It's a fact. 92% of your exports plummeted, just like that, out the window. We'll let you get up to 30% of your exports on the condition that you let these Iraqi militias give us, the IRGC, their weapons. If you do that, you can make your money. But otherwise, the Strait of Hormuz might be unsafe for Iraqi tankers. We don't know. We can't guarantee it. All it takes to break this quote-unquote treaty deal that they just made is for an Iraqi tanker to get hit. That's all it takes. That's how flimsy it is, by the way. And also, now Al-Zaidi is caught in between the US and the Islamic Republic once again. He came to the Pentagon a few weeks ago, met with Hegseth, met with Trump, shook hands. They talked about disarming the militias. Hegseth came out on X, and he talked about, hey, I met with Al-Zaidi. We're going to take care of the Iraqi militias. Al-Zaidi said 100 times, the deadline is September 30th. Making this deal before then can tell us one of two things. One, Al-Zaidi is now flexible on that date, September 30th. Or he is going to play both sides. If he does play both sides, it's going to be very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. But if this is him, and keep in mind, guys, he might not have a ton of choice here until the Americans do come in and actually help him get rid of the militias. The Iraqi government does not have the firepower to do that themselves. They need American forces to do it. He's caught in between right now. We'll see what ends up happening. Don't be too harsh on him just yet. Let's see what actually happens in a couple weeks from now. But I would be very disappointed if he does side with the IRGC here.
Why would he again?
Because he is caught in between, and maybe he doesn't know if the United States will come and help him with his problems. He is not the only one wondering this, though, Armin.
Yeah, right.
Today, according to Ghalibaf, who is the guy who just went to Iraq to make that oil deal with the Iraqis, Ghalibaf just said, we got a ton of messages from all of our neighboring Persian Gulf Arab countries that wanted to talk to us about new security arrangements and economic cooperation. You guys know what that means? If that's true, by the way, don't believe a word that this guy says, but if that's true, and it's not too much of a far cry, a lot of these countries are very skeptical of the United States at the moment. UAE, Saudi, a lot of these countries are very skeptical. If that's true, that means that these countries know the US is not going to do anything. Everyone's underestimating the US, and they are now trying to go back to their old ways of decades-long diplomatic relations with the Islamic Republic. Hey, if they slap up our ambassador, that's fine. We just turn the other cheek. We just stay silent. No exaggeration, by the way. That's the Saudi foreign minister. I think it was 10, 15 years ago, got slapped up by a random guard of the IRGC, just turned the other cheek. Came out and bragged about it on Saudi media a couple months ago.
If you look at Ghalibaf's statement, it's actually really ridiculous. He's saying that United States is causing the insecurity of these Arab countries, and they're realizing that. He's saying that while being the representative of the regime that shoots missiles at these Arab countries. So he's saying, like, look, United States is causing security issues for you, but like if you actually think about what he's saying, is like security issues for not protecting you against what? Against us, right? Like we're the source of the threat. So I mean, if you look at the statement, read the statement, it's so ridiculous. The statement is so ridiculous. And also, this is actually working well for United States anyways. Is like, it's not a failure of United States. This is United States not handing out free security services to people unless they pay up. This is how it should be. Like, you want security, we have the best weapons, buy them and use them. Why are we supposed to come here and provide you free security services for you guys? Like, this makes sense. This is a good US policy to have.
Yeah. Those were the negotiation-facing members of the Islamic Republic. Now let's get into the war-facing members of the Islamic Republic. Some of you may have seen the trash monster from Sesame Street. Here he is. He's told us a couple interesting things today. He said that we know that American enemy aircraft are present at airports in Qatar, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and other countries. These countries have turned their homes into valid targets for us. They shouldn't complain later. Very ominous. Then he said, we're fully prepared for operations, but we will move with a logical and wise inclination. We will not surrender in any way. We will fiercely defend Iran to the last drop of blood. We will not allow the enemy to set foot on Iranian soil. And our armed forces will give themselves to the nation of Iran to the last drop of blood. Okay, before I read his most ridiculous statement yet, Armin, what do you think? Do you think he has the backing behind his words, or is this just more bluffing here?
I mean, bluffing is they're supposed to bluff. That's their job. But this, he is now the main face of escalation of the Islamic Republic, right? So now we could see on one side, there are a lot of people behind the scenes that are pulling the strings, but the main faces of anti-negotiation, pro-escalation is Rezai and Vahidi right now. Rezai and Vahidi. And the main faces of negotiation and capitulation right now are Ghalibaf, Pezeshkian, and Khatami. So we have Pezeshkian, Ghalibaf, and Khatami on one side, and we have Rezai and Vahidi on the other side.
Yeah. By the way, guys, this guy's master strategy has been in the past to capture 1,000 American soldiers and charge $1 billion for each of them to save the Islamic Republic's economical problems, or to capture people like me, Iranian Americans, who go to Iran and charge ransoms for them. Now he has a third and new economic theory. The youth of the country should come and enter the economy. They should start producing things that they and society need in their homes. The youth of the country should start producing industrial grade products in their homes. That's his new theory to save the economy. He's saying the youth are worthless. They don't do anything. Never ceases to amaze me. In fact, do you want to listen to that part?
Yes.
جوانهای کشور بیان وارد اقتصاد بشن. یک جهاد اقتصادی رو ما در ایران راه اندازی کنیم. همونطور که مردم الان تو میادین جمع میشن، تو خانه هاشون، توی محلات شروع کنن به تولید، شروع کنن به محصولاتی که خودشون و جامعه هستن.
We will declare an economic jihad. The youth must start producing products in the streets, in their neighborhoods, in their homes.
Oh my God, this guy is so stupid. it's so stupid. It's so stupid it hurts. That guy's like, I'm not exaggerating. This guy is, most of the people within the Islamic Republic are not as retarded as you guys think. They actually are kind of. This guy is like something else. So he has a solution for the economic problems. You're like, I got it. Young people, go home and just produce things at home. Okay, buddy.
Just do it.
What? Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So I just go make it. Just go. This is economic. He's calling it economic jihad. Okay, Ali, I didn't know young people in Iran who can't find a job just had access to wealth just like that. They're just like, okay. Now I'm gonna get rich. Thank you, Hassan Rezai. I'm just gonna go home and make money.
But you know what? Here's the thing, Armin.
You know what this is? Ali, you know what this is like? This is like going to a homeless person and be like, "Hey, just go buy a house. Just go." It's like that. And like, hey guys, I have a solution to everyone's economic problems. Why don't we just go and tell everybody to go home and make money? There you go. Problem solved. Economic jihad.
Even if they wanted to, they don't have any money. The government doesn't have any money to help them with this. So the people would have to use their own money and want to. By the way, Iran, 95% of the country wants the Islamic Republic out. I don't think they're going to come and help you, buddy. But even if they did, now what? Are you going to get past the blockade somehow? What's going to go on? You're not going to make any money.
But that's his point, Ali. He's like, guys, we're not making any money. So young people, you go make money for us. We can't sell oil. So go home and do something. Save us.
Yeah, those products that we had to import from other countries because we didn't have the capabilities to do so with the billions of dollars that we had. Let's just do it now.
Yes.
Just do it.
Just go make that at home. Yeah, we don't have we can't run the factories. Just go figure out how to make the next iPhone or something at home. Something. Just use your creativity and just figure out how to make something really good at home and come out and sell it. Oh my God.
No,
oh my
and
God,
then,
this is amazing.
And then you have
Why can't you go home and make an NVIDIA chip? Okay. Why can't you go home and make, I don't know, make ChatGPT? Young people go home and make something. Okay. So go make,
Yeah, just make your
Intel,
own
go make Amazon.
ChatGPT.
Make your own chip, make us rich. Okay. And then give me a call so we could come and, take the money or something.
Take it. Yeah,
help
take
us
it.
out here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The UAE is getting a specific threat. So members of parliament, who are some of them who are also former IRGC commanders, today declared that the United Arab Emirates is going to pay a very heavy price. It placed its entire territory at our disposal for years, and now that it's not, it's going to pay the heaviest price. Gotcha. All right. Well, maybe that's why the UAE has been gearing up on missile interceptors and everything it possibly can find, because I think it knows the IRGC are going to come after it no matter what. So you guys saw the two, yeah.
Wait, Amir is giving Mohsen Rezai some ideas. Mohsen Rezai is gonna go to Gemini. Hi, Gemini, can you make me rich? Yes, that's what. That's a. I mean, that's a better idea. That's a better idea than what he came up. Okay.
You would think
like
if any other country,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You would think that if any other country came and their head of guys in Iran, for the Islamic Republic, the National Supreme Security Council is pretty much the council that decides if we're going to war, how are we going to, what are we going to do in war, things like that. This is the head of it, by the way, this gremlin, Grinch looking guy. And he is very much he wants to go to war, but he's also an idiot. And he's a good puppet. And he's being told, listen, take this position, keep repeating the things that I tell you. That's all you're going to do. You walk into that meeting, repeat these words, hold that position, look like a bulldog, whatever. Those are the two factions. And it's furthered by this Iran International article that we have for you guys. So Vahidi came out and backed state media that's criticizing Ghalibaf and Pezeshkian. That's one of the biggest pieces of proof that we have this rift. So let me just tell you about it. The guy on the left there, he's the commander-in-chief of the IRGC. He's a pretty big name guy. He came out and he started praising all of the media channels, and specifically someone named Peyman Jebeli, who is a broadcaster on the media who keeps criticizing Pezeshkian and Ghalibaf and highlighting, the great effective roles of the IRGC. He's coming out and praising him, which has led everyone from Murad Vaisi to many other analysts say, this is the rift, very visible for you guys. You can see it for yourselves. The negotiation front on the right, the two people on the right of this image, and then the one person on the left in the uniform, that's the guy who says we need to go to war. Keep in mind, these rifts are really real, but they're still coordinating with each other. There's still someone above them saying your role is this and your role is that and playing them against each other. It's not like they're about to go to the streets and start fist fighting.
I do think a lot of their fights is a bit organic, but they're using it anyways, as if it was engineered. And also, Ali Jebeli is another broadcaster. He's the head of the state TV. He's the head of Seda Sima, picked directly by the supreme leader. So he's a big heavyweight, important part of the regime, one of the most powerful people within the regime, not just an average broadcaster. So, in fact, guys, he's on the boom boom sheet.
So what you said is this. The supreme leader is on one side. He's on Vahidi's side, Rezai's side, yes. The IRGC commanders who want to suppress the Iranian people and kill the Americans. That's what he wants. At the same time, the faction that opposes him is Ghalibaf, the Ghalibaf faction.
Mm.
Could you bring up that chart actually?
Yes.
Here's the problem.
So this is
Armin, why can't the supreme leader or Vahidi and all these, hardliner guns, why can't they just come and take out Ghalibaf? What's stopping them?
well, Ghalibaf is too important. You don't know if at some point you do need to capitulate, right? So, for example, right now the regime wishes that Zarif and Rouhani were not hated as much as they are hated right now, because they were the best pawns to use in case they need to negotiate. But they've been burnt. They burned those pawns, and they're not as usable as they used to be. And Ghalibaf has the backing of Americans to some extent, because Ghalibaf is America's guy in the Islamic Republic. He's the inside man. So if you remove Ghalibaf, then the Americans are going to just go all out and just do scorch earth on the regime officials, because that means that's a signal that would be a signal by the Islamic Republic that that's the end of negotiations, and that would basically mean that United States is going to remove everybody within the regime out of the no-kill list, and Israelis will be free to go out and take everybody and anybody that they want. So that's why they won't take out Ghalibaf. But it's also because he's, as much as they're pushing against him, he's still useful. Like, they still need to be able to have somebody to talk to the Americans, right?
Yeah. So if you guys got that, two main points that Armin just said, very, very important. The reason why the IRGC don't just cleanse out these traitors who talk to the Americans is because if you cleanse them out, then you got to talk to the Americans, and you're supposed to be the hardliners. You're supposed to be the death to America. So Ghalibaf, if he's taken out, they're going to start taking the blame. Ghalibaf's taking the blame right now. It's good peace, really good political peace. But also, if you take Ghalibaf out, then the Americans are like, wait, oh, so they don't want to talk at all. All right, let's just get rid of him.
Yeah. Also, let me clarify. I never said that Ghalibaf is on American side. I never said that. I said Americans are using Ghalibaf. They're using him because Ghalibaf knows that if they go back to war, he could die. So obviously, none of these people, nobody within the regime is on America's side. They're all anti-American. They're all jihadi, and they all need to die. No one ever suggested that Ghalibaf or any of these other Tuckers over here are pro-America. So if you thought that I'm saying that, I'm not saying that at all.
And then on the war front, we also have a brigadier general of the IRGC. He's also the spokesperson for the Islamic Republic military. He came out in an interview today, and he also said, we are shifting from defensive to offensive. The possibility of preemptive strikes on the Americans is a real possibility. Our retaliation will also be more extensive than whatever attack we are responding to. Then he went in great detail and talked about the American military base in Jordan that was struck. This would be this guy. And he said, basically, if we have to, we'll kill more Americans that we already have there. We already got through their defensives. We've upgraded our systems this time, and the Americans should be pretty scared that we are going to be faster and quicker and more retaliatory. Right. So that's all of the hardliner, quote unquote, what the media call, and all of the negotiators. They also released this. This is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic, separate from the IRGC. He is now the head of everything military-wise, the guy on the left right there. Came out, released this video, which is supposed to be, making us shake in our boots or something. And he said, we've rebuilt everything. Everything. We rebuilt it all. In fact, we're building new things And we want the enemy to know that they cannot fight against the will of a nation. And they released this video to be like, yeah, look, I'm receiving a briefing about all of our new military capabilities, and we have new production facilities and all that. Okay, gotcha. Let's see how that holds up. You guys had 47 years to build up your military might. Kind of got destroyed in about 40 days. Now let's see what happens this time around. That you have absolutely nothing. Then he said this as well in his speech on the podium there. He said, with preparedness across land, sea, air defense, and cyberspace, Iran's armed forces will respond to the enemy's new threats with crushing, punishing, and devastating responses. Gotcha. Just so you guys know, those were all the statements that were made today, but by all the officials of the Islamic Republic. We got you the war-facing ones, we got you the negotiation-facing ones, and they are completely at odds here. They know that the other side is necessary. The negotiators know if we don't have any sort of war-facing generals to as an option, I can't go to the negotiating table with the Americans and have leverage. And then the war-facing generals are like, well, we want to go to war. It's a better option. We actually do. We don't want to face these domestic problems. We want a united enemy to go against. But also, what if we do need to negotiate if we lose? We'll probably lose. It's America. What then? We need negotiators as a fail-safe. We go fight, we get knocked down a peg, and then we want to negotiate. Our negotiators come back forward. That way we can stretch out the Americans' time. We get closer to November, the midterms, and then we hit all the ships. That brings us to the next section. Armin, now they're openly talking about striking American ships, actually all ships that traverse through the Strait of Hormuz when we get to late October, mid to late October. That's their strategy at the moment. All of the close, quote unquote, people to the circles of power in Tehran are saying the IRGC are gearing up to stretch this out. October comes, strike all the ships, raise the price of oil to 150, 200. Boom, Trump loses the midterms.
This might also be a way for them to signal that we're going to do it. We're going to do it later, but not now, because they're afraid of doing it now. So they want to get the benefit of scaring the Americans without actually, while being scared of themselves of what will happen if they do something significant. So they want to have their cake and eat it too, to try to signal to the Americans that the cost of the economic blockade will be high. So cut it out, cut it out. But also, what are they going to hit? In October?
They said
October?
all ships. They said all ships that are traversing the Strait of Hormuz. Doesn't matter where they're from.
That's not very scary. That's not scary at all. That is not scary at all.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But yeah, like, so they have stopped. Like, did they not mention anything about hitting data centers or in the Arab countries or water desalination facilities or oil infrastructure, like oil and gas infrastructure? Nothing about that?
I mean, their strategy to me is not a bad one. It's that we stretch this out as long as possible, get to the, and I'll answer your question right now, get closer to the midterms. Then we start striking ships all the time, as much as we possibly can. In a very short period of time, raise the oil price as high as we can. And then if the Americans attack us, we have the card of striking the regional infrastructure as our trump card. The last card we need to play.
So think about it. Like, the Americans are like, we're about to completely collapse your regime. And the regime is like, I will give you bad results in your next election. So that's it. This is it, right? And I think they're overestimating how devastating that might be to Trump's abilities, if that's what they're relying on.
Trump said today in an interview that if he loses the midterms, they will impeach him, or they will try to impeach him. Obviously,
they won't be able to.
Many people, yeah.
I mean, they could start an impeachment process, but they can't impeach him.
Yeah, you can take that statement.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I mean the Democrats have turned the impeachment thing into a joke. It's like they overused it so much that it's meaningless now. So it's not like he's going to get impeached. Like they tried so many times. Like what's going to happen, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it might get him busy and distracted, but nothing more than that, I think.
I feel like Trump has more political moves to play here as
Right.
we get closer to the midterms.
Here's a political move, Ali. What do you think about this? If I was the White House, if I was an advisor in the White House, I would be like, yeah, so if the Islamic Republic makes it so obvious that they're attacking before the midterms to affect the elections, that should be a campaign ad that the Islamic Republic wants you to vote Democrat. Like, I think, you should double in on that. Like, look, this is obvious. They waited right before the elections. They're attacking so that you vote Democrat. What does it say about the Democrats that the number one enemy of the United States wants Americans to vote Democrat? How pro-America is it for a party to be so much in the benefit of our number one enemy, right? And this should be a marketing campaign for President Trump and Republicans to say that if our enemy wants us to vote Democrat, then the most patriotic thing you could do is to vote Republican. These terrorists want you to vote Democrat, so come out and vote Republican.
And to do that, or have that have the most maximum effect you could possibly have, you need to make the Islamic Republic a threat, a bigger threat than it is. If they start striking ships, or if they start doing some other activities, you want to plaster that on every headline, and then at the same time push what you said. So there's a lot of dirty politics moves that can be played here. The world's never as straightforward as you might think. But since we're talking about the striking of ships, Axios released a statement. They released a statement today at 6 a.m. And that has caused... Let's show you the statement first. Okay, so Barak Ravid, this is Axios. He said around 40 tankers transited in and out of the Strait of Hormuz Friday night. That's 16 million barrels of oil that moved out Friday night. 40 ships and 16 million barrels of oil. I mean, those numbers are Barak Ravid's downfall here, because a lot of people have come out and disproven him. In fact, so much that none of the oil markets believed that statement, and the price of oil jacked up a couple of dollars here since that statement alone a few hours ago. This has actually thrown Scott Bessent into a bit of a stump, saying, I don't know why oil prices suddenly increased like that. We are moving a lot of oil through the Strait of Hormuz. And then we told you guys about this yesterday. I want to reiterate this point. There was roughly 105 million barrels of oil sitting on the ocean. Actually, we'll show you guys where that is as well. Roughly about here in this area, 105 million barrels of Iranian oil sitting on the oceans there. Now we have about 80 million barrels. So about 20 million of Iranian oil, 20 million barrels of Iranian oil was bought by the Chinese in the past 30 days. What was being sold at a discount to the Chinese is now being sold at a premium. That means we're charging more. The Islamic Republic is charging more for each barrel to the Chinese. Armin, why would you suddenly charge more for a product? Does this have something to do with supply and demand here?
Why is the Islamic Republic charging more for their oil?
Yeah, they're charging China more money to buy their oil now, which is weird, right? But why would that need to happen?
So
basically,
Russia. Russian oil is less on the market than before, right? Because of the Ukraine war. So maybe there is a, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the one thing I could crosses my mind. What else do you have?
Yeah, you're pretty much getting to it. There's low supply now.
Yeah.
There's high demand because we told you China for a few months was able to cut down its demand. They're able to just tell all their industries, hey, like, this is what we're doing for the whole country, and all the industries just adapt. But it can't always be that way. China can't permanently decrease its oil consumption. It was able to do that for about 4 months. Now it is hungry for oil. In a month, they bought 20 million barrels of Iranian oil, not to mention the millions of barrels of Kuwaiti, Iraqi, and Saudi oil that they're buying right now and this whole time. The fact that the Islamic Republic sees oil is getting, like, the amount of oil that's flowing out of the Strait of Hormuz is actually decreasing. So the amount of oil that's sitting outside the Strait of Hormuz is going to eventually dwindle down, become less of it. Low supply, the demand is high, we're going to charge more. So that's a bit of a timer. Now that raises questions. Is that money going to make it back to the Islamic Republic? Are they now going to suddenly get billions of dollars? Well, that's why economic D-Day was declared. So in my opinion, what we looked at and we've been looking at for China and their oil consumption is actually the target of economic D-Day to me. If the Islamic Republic is to charge more money to China, and then also the Islamic Republic can't get any money back from it, that puts a lot of pressure on the Islamic Republic, puts a lot of pressure on China here, before Xi Jinping is set to actually visit in September to the White House. Maybe get some leverage. All right, let's go back into Tehran. Which one of these did I want to show you guys? I know what I want to show you. God. Okay. There is something called the misery index. The misery index in Iran has hit a record high of 91%. 91% of people are miserable. Not unhappy, miserable.
Jeez.
Yep. The funniest part about this is that this is not our numbers. This is numbers from inside Iran. The Statistical Center of Iran has reported the misery index of the Islamic Republic of Iran is now 91%, citing inflation rates and unemployment rates, which are at the highest levels ever.
That is so high.
Yep. That's more than double of what it was this time last year. More than double.
That is hell.
Yep. And then let's start making our way into the stupid clips by the Islamic Republic. I know you had one pulled up earlier. Let's begin with this and go into that. Armin, can you take a look in the and down below and take? Oh, actually, well, this is already up there, guys. The Islamic Republic is staging mock executions for Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu openly.
So YouTube, this is not an actual execution. This is a mock execution. These are not humans, right? Those are dolls?
These are mannequins. These are dolls.
Mannequins.
And this is what the Islamic Republic is doing. So we're just reporting on that.
Look at this. They're cheering, watching Netanyahu and President Trump being hanged. They are so desperate to see this happen. And because they will never see this happen, they're basically creating. This is coping. This is, look at their cheer. Can we see? Does it have audio?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, let's
Can we
go
hear
back
it with
to
the
the
audio?
cheering.
Because I want to hear if they did cheering. Yeah. So desperate. So, so they're chanting "Death to America, death to Israel," and the speaker said that soon we will see this for real, not symbolically, but soon we will see this for real, inshallah. It's so desperate. They have
Yep.
nothing to show, so they have to make it up.
And along with that ridiculous video, let's go into the second one. I actually had yours pulled up too, so then let's see this and let's go to that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Durkas. Yes, yes, there we go. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but a 10-foot shovel will definitely do that. Anyway, the regime supporters are acting up. Look at that. Anyway, let's show your video. That one is going to be related to the Khamenei shrine where he's buried. Let's take a look at what regime supporters are up to at their master's burial site.
So, Ali, I have this video, and then I have a couple of other videos to compare it with.
And then we'll get into alligrams.
Yes, okay. So, guys, this is at the shrine of Imam Reza, which is one of the, if not the most holiest place in Iran for Shia Muslims, right? And this is also where Ali Khamenei has been buried, right? So look at this. These people were here with the sign demanding revenge for Ali Khamenei's death. Their sign. The security of the shrine took their signs away. They're not allowed to have the sign. The anti-American and anti-Trump asking for revenge for killing Ali Khamenei is not allowed in the shrine of the 8th Imam in Iran, at the site of Ali, next to Ali Khamenei's burial ground. So what so he's saying this is the shrine of Imam Reza. As you can see, they grab our phones. So I'm moving back so that the security can't take my phone. Like these people are coming and taking our signs. Like, you look at his audacity. Like, lady, why did he take your sign? Like, why are you taking the sign? Give us back our sign. And he's saying the security was trying to grab this woman's phone away from her. Like, these are the same people that they will come and hit us. Like, and say like they are becoming so audacious because we tolerated them. So yeah, you can see برخورد حراست حرم با خونخواهان علی خامنه‌ای. These are the people. They're if you come out and hold signs wanting revenge for the against the people who killed Ali Khamenei, they come and take away your sign. So contrast this. So Gali, I want to show this because I want to show you why the jihadis are mad, right? The jihadis in Iran, right? Because them holding signs saying like, oh, we should get revenge, go kill Trump or stuff. That is, the security does not allow that, right? But then they say like, okay, so we can't demand revenge for our dead imam. But this is from yesterday. This is from a few hours ago. Both of these videos that I'm going to show you from 2 hours ago. In the same Iran, in Tehran, in Ekbatan, this is allowed, and nobody is doing anything about this. This is in Tehran, guys, from yesterday. All right, so the jihadis are like, what the hell is happening? How is this even an Islamic country anymore? What we can't hold signs saying that we want the revenge for Ali Khamenei, and there is literally no one, no police, no morality police, no guard, nothing coming out and stopping this degeneracy. And not only that, these people are feeling so safe that nobody's going to stop them that they recorded and posted online themselves. That's how safe they feel. That's how they know. Like, we have lost our country. This country is not Islamic anymore. And the Zionists have taken over. That's what they think, right? So, by the way, guys, this is not good, right? Don't think like we're not fighting for this. Like, I mean, it is good for them, okay? But it's not what we're fighting for. We're not fighting the Islamic Republic for this, right? We want all the freedoms. We don't want limited temporary freedoms that the Islamic Republic is allowing because Islamic laws are not being enforced, because the Islamic Republic is feeling threatened and doesn't want to spark an uprising. We don't want temporary conditional freedoms under the framework of the Islamic Republic. We want the Islamic Republic to die. We don't want conditional freedoms under the Islamic Republic. We want the return of Pahlavi. We want all the freedoms. We want freedom of speech. We want freedom of the right to choose our own destiny, the right to choose our own representative, economic freedoms, all the freedoms, right? Not just temporary social freedoms, right? But as much as that is true, we're going to take advantage of the fact that the Islamic Republic has retreated in some areas and can't enforce Islamic laws, and you see a lot of these things happening all over Iran, as a way to get on the nerves of the jihadi people and turn them against each other. Because as much as this is not our goal, this is useful for us to convince the jihadis that they have lost, that the regime is not Islamic. So do your own uprising, rise up against the regime, cause internal division among them, and make them angry about the current conditions, so that maybe they could help us, become our tools to do some of the dying, maybe when it comes to doing the fight against the Islamic Republic, right? So does that make sense, Ali? What do you want to add anything to these two videos?
And the reformers are going to use this as an example of,
Yes.
their rise to, or their claim to power right now.
Yes, that's a very good point. So guys, there's a proper use of this video and there's a misuse of this video, okay? So the so-called reformers within the Islamic Republic will try to use events like stuff like this to say, like, look, we fixed it. No need for regime change. Look at the Western world. Look, Iran is fixed. Get off our back. We're good now. Are we good? Look, dancing woman with hair in the streets. Get off our back now. Everything is fixed. And the Iranian people, look, isn't this what you wanted? You wanted to dance? Now you can dance. This is your hair. Stop the uprisings, okay? So this is a misuse of this video. We should not allow them to use that. But we should use these videos to tell the jihadis that oh my God, this is not, the Zionists have taken over. The coup d'etat has happened. Rise up and fight for Islam. What are you doing? That's how we should be using them. So there's a misuse of these videos and there's a proper use of this video.
If you see videos like this, don't think, oh man, now that the regime is using it, I wish it wasn't posted. If the regime starts using it, just say, this is not what the Iranian people want. They don't want reform. They want you to go completely.
Right.
I have another video like
Ali,
that for you. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that first.
Since we got the music, listen to this. So, guys, this is the south of Iran. The music in the south sounds more like this. Bandari. It's the style. You hear that? If you guys didn't hear that, these guys took their drum, took their bagpipes, started singing about Reza Shah.
Yes. That is what we are fighting for. So just to be clear, guys, that video is a red line of the Islamic Republic right now. Okay? This video that I showed you, this is not right now, today, a red line of the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic wants to allow this right now, these dancing women with their hair, okay? But this second video that was in Tehran. This is in southern Iran. This is not, this is a red line. These people are praising Pahlavi. This is what we're fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about it, Ali. This is inside Iran. This is the most treasonous thing that you could do right now, according to the Islamic Republic. And they're out in public, showing their faces in a big crowd, dancing and praising Reza Shah the King.
Filming it, posting it. This has gone viral. This was posted hours ago. Tonight in Iran, Reza Shah is still well and alive in the hearts of the Iranian people. So is Noor Pahlavi. You guys see that?
Yes. This is inside Iran, guys. People are posting pictures of Reza Pahlavi and Noor Pahlavi inside Iran. Guys, the revolution is alive. The revolution, guys, the revolution is alive. This gets you the death penalty. What I showed you, that the dancing women, but they're showing their hair, that does not get you the death penalty. This, whoever posted this, that gets you the death penalty.
And
by the way, Noor Pahlavi follows me on X. Just a humble brag. I just have to do that. Sorry.
It was I accidentally misclicked it to delete it. Shoot. I think it was right here though. Ah, yes, thank God. Okay. Take a look at this, guys. Iran's former economy minister, Ehsan Khandouzi, just made a specific and interesting statement. Kind of looks like, guys, what is his name? What's that actor's name?
That's
God, why do I forget his name? Guys, what's that actor's name? You guys know what I'm talking about. He's a comedian. He always make these like rom-coms or comedic movies. Adam Sandler. He kind of looks like Adam Sandler a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, but let's get back to the serious part. Okay, stop laughing. Here's what he just said. Armin, the former economy minister of the Islamic Republic, today said, all signs indicate that next month there will be both a civil uprising and a war. Don't take it from us, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you it's going to be late September, don't listen to me. Listen to them. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, you never know. He could say that, could not come true. But I'm glad that they are starting to say these things. And the reason he's saying that is because he's citing, what was it? Planned increases in fuel and energy prices, along with inflation and unemployment. So economic. The same sparks for all most of the previous uprisings. With that, let's get into the allogram section. Oh yeah, you want to say something?
2 more videos. I had 2 more videos.
Oh yeah, let's show it.
2 more videos. Yeah. So there's a new cafe that opened in Tehran. So you can see this is Tehran, Iran. This is the Milad Tower. And I want you to guys see if you notice something about this new cafe. This just happened, okay? So look at this new cafe in Tehran, okay?
I'm crazy like
Oh, copyrighted music. Sorry. New
There's no way
night.
bigger.
New- Huh?
There's no way to make that a little bit bigger. That's the biggest it gets. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, how could I make it bigger? It goes all the way from the
Yeah.
top. Well, okay, maybe there's a way here. I think there's a way here. Hold on. Remove you. No, not this one. There. Is this better? Not much of a difference. What did you notice anything, Ali?
No head coverings. Every woman's having her hair out.
Oh,
It also looked very
that's
Western.
normal. No, that's normal in Tehran. No head
Yeah,
coverings
but
is
for
normal.
the post.
No, there's something that passed by.
Passed by.
Yes. Okay, I'll play one
Where
more
did it
time.
pass by?
See if you know. You showed this to us, Ali. You had a whole segment about it. Okay, I'll pause on it.
Oh, Hemati?
No, Babak Zanjani.
Oh,
This is his cafe.
they look the exact same. You're right. Oh, yeah.
This
Okay, I heard about this. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, I read about this. Everyone in Iran is saying, oh, wow, looked like a really good cafe until Babak Zanjani showed up and put his face in the video.
So guys, but that guy, Babak Zanjani, he just opened a new cafe in Tehran. He's one of the most important people within the Islamic Republic. He's the money guy. He's a person that moves money, and he moves billions of dollars. He's a main guy to move. There were two main people that moved money around the sanctions, find loopholes around the sanctions. One was Ali Shamkhani. He's dead. And the second guy is this one, Ali Zanjani. This guy is worth so much money. Like, this guy has God level money, right? And this guy was almost executed by the Islamic Republic because while he was moving money for the Islamic Republic, he took billions of it. And he was exposed that he took billions of it. And then he had a court and he was on death row and he was supposed to be executed. And then they pardoned him. They pardoned him, but no explanation. Not executed, nothing. And the reason why they pardoned him because he's too useful. He's too useful, and he is a genius when it comes to moving money with cryptocurrencies. He has so many networks around the world. And he knows how to move funds around for the Islamic Republic. And he is too powerful and too useful. And the Islamic Republic couldn't execute him and couldn't get rid of him, even though he took so much money away from the Islamic Republic. And he should not be alive. Like, I don't understand why Israel hasn't taken this guy out. But anyways.
Also,
this is
he's
his cafe.
hurting. Armin, how much do you think he's hurting at the fact that the UAE is halting all financial transactions?
I don't know if he's hurting because the Islamic Republic needs him more than ever right now. given that they're so the more desperate the Islamic Republic gets, the more money he makes, right?
He's under a lot of pressure here. He has to find ways now to circumvent everything. Let's see what he
Right.
does.
Oh, somebody's saying, well, maybe he's Mossad. That's a good point. Why did he- Yeah.
Now that you brought that point up, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And one thing, like, guys, look at this. This is one of the highest ranking officials, I mean, people within the Islamic Republic. And he opens his cafe, and look at this. Like, literally nobody in the ad for his cafe is wearing a hijab. Literally not a single person. Like, hijab is like, ew, get that. Like, I don't want that nasty, barbaric, backward stuff
Yeah.
around my, nice cafe. Like, it doesn't get more hypocritical than this. Like, there's no hijab. This is in Tehran, and his cafe opening day had no hijab in it. Yeah.
Now that you mention that, in my opinion, we'll actually talk about this in a future live more. But one of the ways that the Islamic Republic is now looking to circumvent sanctions and etc., how they're going to make money from now on, is what you're seeing on the screen. What are the countries, ladies and gentlemen, that you are seeing on the screen here? You see countries like Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and those countries. That is the new plan, along with, of course, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and Russia. These are the new plans that are being drafted up as we speak by none other than the man that you see in that video, Babak Zanjani, the chief financier of the terrorist Nazi Islamic Republic. So we'll actually talk about that. I listened to a couple lectures on that last night. But for now, let's get into alligrams. Here's our first one. We're going to go into the Islamic Republic supporters group chats. We're going to grab messages from them that indicate their moods. You guys ready? Here's our first one. Let's translate this. Let's see what Reza is saying. Saying if there was an attack on infrastructure, like if Donald Trump were to wipe out our power plants, it was definitely because of the incompetence of people like Pezeshkian, the president of the Islamic Republic. It's a shame that people are obligated to maintain unity and cohesion because of the words of the supreme leader of the society. Otherwise, these traitors would be taken care of. I don't know why it says greatly embarrassed. He meant to say we would get rid of them. This is one of the attacks on the president of the Islamic Republic. Over the last 48 hours, he's being dragged through the mud. He's being made use as a fall guy and a scapegoat. Regime supporters, like this guy, are saying, if it weren't for the words of our dear supreme leader, we would take care of the government ourselves. Regime supporters of the Islamic Republic. It's becoming a more and more common call to action by the Durka Supremes. So as always, we'll show you at least one of those messages. And let's get into the newspapers.
Ali, I'm going to refresh my page because for some reason it shows me what my view is that I'm on the left here, but
Okay.
on the YouTube it shows me on the right. I mean, actually, I don't know what's happening. I'm going to refresh my screen and I'll be right back.
Guys, look at this. Look at these newspapers. It just shows they're all the central bank head, and they all say zero or hiç, which means nothing. And they're making nothing, no money. Look at that. Again, more and more headlines like this. Hiç. Then, of course, we're going to have caricatures and etc. What does this say, Armin?
فیلها پرواز نمی‌کنند. Elephants
The
can't fly.
midterms.
Oh.
the midterms are coming up, and the newspapers of the Islamic Republic are pushing this narrative that elephants, I guess the animal of the Republican Party, can't fly. So they're going to lose, essentially. What does that say?
That means that they want the Democrats to win. So the Democrats are the IRGC party. The Democrats are the IRGC party. Make that a thing.
Right, right. So exactly. So when this newspaper is published inside of Islamic Republic of Iran by their state media, and you see this, you're going to take this, if you're the United States, listen, guys, if you're working at the White House, please watch this stream, take this front page of the newspapers in Iran, and please use this against the Democrats. I beg you. There's literally not an easier ploy that you could do. That's the best one. And then could you just read this for us right there?
تله‌گذاری دشمن در زمین اقتصاد. So basically, our enemies have laid a trap in our economy. So they have turned the economy into a trap for us.
Becoming more and more apparent, and they're readying their population for the impending crisis that's to come in about a month or so in the Islamic Republic. All the newspapers are talking about two things. One, we have no money. Heech, sif, zero, nothing. And then the other one is the economy is about to get a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our next message here. This is about the Iraqi situation. So this person is reporting information from the Iraqi prime minister saying, we are working on mechanisms to hand over weapons and end all militant groups in Iraq. That's true. Al-Zaidi said that. He's trying to disarm the proxies. And then, to that statement, this regime supporter is saying, we spent all this money on the resistance. So it just collapses now, I guess? We spent all this money. Why is no one doing anything? Why is no one doing anything? I don't know. Probably because you guys can't, I would say. There's nothing you can really do about it. And look at this. In this post, there is, we will actually open this up for you guys so you can see it for yourselves. There's a rocket test that's being done here. And what the Islamic Republic supporters are saying in response to that it's the evil of liberals. That's why we can't build rockets like these. That is the only reason why. If we say, Agad, if we didn't have the evil liberals inside the Islamic Republic, we could also build rockets that go in space and come back and etc. But alas, no one's going to get rid of these liberals, huh? What does he mean by liberals? Oh, you're muted.
He means the reformers. He means the non-jihadi people. The people who are less ideological.
I feel like the Durka regime supporters are just hating on everyone. They're attacking, the government of the Islamic Republic. They're attacking the reform. They're attacking everyone. In fact, they're attacking them more than they're attacking us, the opposition.
Oh, yeah. They forgot
way more.
Oh, they completely forgot about us.
This is why the Islamic Republic wants to go back to war, because then they can unite all of them against us. We're the enemy that unites them. And they can't go back to war.
Yeah, keep fighting among yourself for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the double uprising. This is what we were talking about. Here's
our next one. Let's translate this. let's see, is this okay, yeah, cool. So guys, this is in response to another post, and that post is by someone named Mohammad, who says, "You idiots, we violated the agreement, not America." And then here's a very popular discussion that they always have is, of course, half the regime thinks the Islamic Republic violated the agreement, and then the other half thinks that, no, we didn't start all this war and everything. It was the Americans. So did we violate the agreement? No. On June 1st of last year, we suddenly violated the agreement when several high-ranking officials were assassinated at 5 a.m. On March 9th, did we violate the agreement when the most important official on the country was killed? What kind of idiots and ignorant lawyers are you? You still don't understand who you're dealing with. So they're talking about when Qasem Soleimani, when a lot of the nuclear scientists and etc. were killed by Israel and the United States. And the regime thinks that no matter what we do, the Americans will always come for us. We, the poor victims, the regime supporters, they always want to wage war against us. They just forgot one simple thing, is that since the beginning of the Islamic Republic, they've been chanting death to America, building proxies, funding terrorism on the world, and killing people. That might be the reason why they're coming for you. And here we go. Pezeshkian. What do they have to say about the president? Okay, so here's an important thing. Again, in that blue part, that's the post that the state media makes, okay? Farce News Agency, that's IRGC media. Look at what they're saying. Mr. President, how do we end the war? And they put a picture of Pezeshkian up. These guys are opposite. Okay, the IRGC is opposite to negotiating. The president wants to negotiate, the IRGC don't. So they're making fun of the president, Pezeshkian, saying, how in the world are we gonna, what do you mean, end the war? What does that even mean, dude? And this regime supporter who sides with the IRGC is saying, the concessions that Arakchi, the foreign minister, and Pezeshkian, the president, were supposed to give the United States before the 40-day war made the US more likely to attack. So either overthrow the United States or gain more concessions from the United States. You shouldn't have given the United States concessions in the negotiations. They think that is the reason why. That the United States thought that the Islamic Republic was actually quite strong, but when they started giving negotiation concessions, then the US was like, oh my God, wait, they're actually weak. They're giving us concessions. Let's attack. If you guys just had to pick a number between 1 and 10, 1 being least stupid, very smart, and 10 being very stupid and very dumb, I'm just wondering, what would you guys put for the regime supporters here after seeing their messages? Because remember, I show you a lot of their smart discussion points, and then I show you this is their mid-level discussion points. I'm not kidding. I don't show you the stupid gibberish that they say. I really don't. It's a lot worse than this. Yeah. Totally. Was there anything in the newspapers that spoke out to you? Like if you're just eyeballing it here?
I think it's interesting how it's becoming more acceptable from the newspapers on all sides to now focus on United States being the cause of the economic issues. Because it used to be more, this is not because of the United States, this is because of Pezeshkian, and the Americans can't do anything against us. Now there are more of them are admitting that this has been brought to us because of the United States economic blockade.
Yeah. So then they're starting to ask themselves, why was the blockade there in the first place? Did we hit ships or what's going on? And that concludes the allogram section. We're going to give you guys some quick Ukraine updates. There's going to be some cool videos. And before we leave Iran here for the day, in the east of the country, we actually have severe flooding. Take a look at this. We have severe flooding that is going on. Some very heavy rainfall. Let me close out these Telegram messages here. So yeah, this was the rain forecast. We actually showed you guys this as well. I don't know why we did that, but when I saw there was going to be a lot of rain throughout the country of Iran, we showed you guys this a few weeks ago. Turned out the rain forecast changed, and now only the northeast of the country is receiving heavy, heavy rain in that red area. So some parts of Iran are flooding. Other parts of Iran are in severe drought and 120-degree heat. The people who are now experiencing flooding, by the way, there's a lot of them that are missing. A lot of them that are, the villages have been cut off. People are trying to go and rescue them at the moment. The government isn't helping. Just wanted to show you that. The government never helps. So when this part of the country floods, right here, Golistan National Park in this entire area, and then you have other parts of the area here around Kermanshah who actually have severe wildfires for the past 3-4 months. And then you have down here electricity shortages and 120-degree heat. Keep in mind, in none of these scenarios will the Islamic Republic step in to help the people. Not a single one. None of them. So let's move up into Ukraine here. All right. But the biggest piece of news, just a couple of quick things here, is that the Ukrainians have struck 27 energy grids and power plants throughout Crimea and Russia-occupied Ukraine. Why is that significant? The Ukrainians are now hitting their own infrastructure. This is Ukraine. Russia occupied Ukraine, but still Ukraine. This is infrastructure built by Ukrainians. And if the Ukrainian military is now targeting it, they're going in for the end game here. They want the Russians out of their country, possibly even to negotiate. They just want the Russians out first before they have to get to the negotiation period. In my eyes, this is very, very important. They have refrained from doing so for the entire war for this area, and now they're hitting it. Now we have a couple of cool clips for you guys.
Slava Ukraine.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is correct. On your screens, you are seeing a Ukrainian man in the car, and in front of him is a Ukrainian attack helicopter on its way to a strike mission. One of the coolest things you could possibly see. If you're just driving on your daily commute to work every morning and a helicopter just rolls by in front of you, how many of you would overtake that helicopter? I don't think I would. Not sure if I would do that. And here is a video. This is the best ground footage of Ukrainian like World War II era planes. And it's in a dogfight with a Russian drone. Yep, that's a propeller World War II plane that they use. What ends up happening is that one Ukrainian pilots the plane, another one sits right behind him in the cockpit with a rifle and tries to shoot down Russian drones. Very cost effective, obviously, compared to sending out missile interceptors. And this is something that they've used quite frequently during the war. And we'll show you actually what that looks like right here. They've done this so much that they're actually pretty skilled at it. They just sit in the back with a rifle and just shoot down Russian drones. Not
Wow.
bad. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me do a double check here to make sure we got everything for you guys. Ah, yes. This. Quick clip by President Donald Trump, which came out last evening. Let's take a look what he has to say about using the military option and about the bond rate in America. It's becoming a bit of an issue. Let's see what he has to say.
Did you direct Secretary Besson to intervene in the bond market? Was
No,
that your idea?
not at all. No, he's a very capable man. He wanted to do it. He's very good at it. He has a good touch, very good natural touch for the bonds and interest, and he did that, yeah.
The yields have come back up since then. Have you talked to him about another type of intervention? Is that something he will
We
be
have
doing?
many types of intervention. That's one. The ultimate intervention is our military. And if we have to use that, we will.
Did you direct?
So we've been showing you the bond rates for a long time. Whenever they approach 5% or go above that, you usually have seen negotiations. So at some point in the beginning, it was 4.5%. If it went over 4.5, boom, negotiations came out within 48 hours of that. Then it became 5%. Now it's at like between 5 and 5.5. Scott Bessent has to find more and more ways on how to bring these rates down so we don't freak out the American economy even more. This is why I say that the US is also on a timer here. Things can't stay this way forever. But the Islamic Republic is, oh my God, the amount of pain that they are going through is nothing compared to anyone here in the West. Which brings me to our last point. I like to say this again. If you ever see an Iranian, or if you ever talk to someone who says, I feel hopeless about the situation in Iran, just tell them that the Islamic Republic supporters and they themselves feel much more hopeless than you could possibly feel. And that is a fact. All right. And go on to the super chats. Carla, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome on board. And then we have Sayed, who sends a lot of super chats. Let's see it. Okay. So he says, Armin should win today. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Are we there? Yep. You know, some might call that cheating if you want to win a super chat race. Not me, though.
Say it. Are you still here? Not you, not Ali. Okay. Well, say it. Are you here? If you're still here, let me know. Thank you, Sayed. That's very sweet. Oh, yes, he is here. But
well played. Well played. And then, you know, the other person that took you to your victory was, of course, Nail Bunny, who says, hello, Darude and Shalom. Please like the stream. And I agree, Sayed. Armin should see some confetti. So I think, that pretty much got you the super chat race in like 2 minutes.
Yes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Well, Nail Bunny and Sayed, the MVPs of today for Armin.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys.
And thank you for the super chats.
Thank you.
Our next one is from Shauna.
Oh yes,
says, hi.
Shauna was trying for you to doing the same thing, and Shauna is look at this. Shauna's being so
thank you,
sweet.
Shauna.
Saying, "Well, we tried. We will try tomorrow." Oh, thank you, Shauna. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, all of you, both sides. Love you guys. All right, sorry. Go back.
Thank you, guys. And Shauna, so Shauna said, "Hi, hope you are well, Ali."
Oh, see?
Ooh.
You know, Ali, I don't call that cheating. Unlike
I
some
mean,
people.
I don't either.
Oh yeah.
Some,
I
I mean, that's
wouldn't.
crazy. It's
I
some
don't
people
even.
say that.
I don't even suggest that some people might call it cheesy. Yeah? It's fair.
I mean, some people do. It's
Oh,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous to
yeah,
say
it
that's
is.
cheating. I
It
mean,
is.
some people say it still. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think the
Thank you
people
so
on
much,
the
Shauna.
losing side would consider it cheap. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you,
Thank
Shauna,
you,
for the super
Chef.
chats. And our next one is from Fun Sun with the smiley face. Smiley.
Thank you, Fanson. That's sweet. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Thank you,
Fun Sun
Fun
is
Sun,
great.
for the super chat. Sayed, oh yeah, got this one. Thank you again for the super chat. And Tikwa
Thank you.
says, indeed, he should win. Yeah, I know you're talking about me, obviously, even though we didn't win.
Wait, maybe I think it was. He was talking about you.
Oh,
Let
really?
me see. Let me check.
No,
Yes. Oh no. He's talking about me. Yes.
all right,
Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank you, Tikva. Thank you.
Now I
you.
know. Yeah, guys, we're all just kidding, by the way. It's all in good fun.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you, Tikwa, for the super chat. And Fizz Endricist with a super sticker. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you. And Kevin Shaw, who says, love you guys. Thank you very much,
We love
Kevin.
you too.
Yeah.
We love you too, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. And Curtis West, who's been a member for 4 months, says, what a deal. Remember when we used to be really afraid of them making a deal that would make the United States back off and go home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember when you were saying like, yeah, guys, we're so close to a deal, sarcastically. You guys saw how confident Ali was that we're so far away from a deal. And every time we were saying like, guys, we're getting farther and farther away from a deal. A few months later, you guys could see that we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, that was never going to happen. At least in my head, I just never saw a way. Because what happens if you leave? I mean, are they going to stop building nukes all of a sudden, or funding proxies? Thank you, Curtis. And Magnum Opus says 11 out of 10 super chats in 5 minutes. So you won in 5 minutes. You won in less than 5 minutes. Dang.
5, yeah. Yes.
It's always like
Thank
that.
you,
It's like
guys.
one of us wins in 5 minutes, and then the other one, yeah.
Takes her, because once we get to 10, people are like, okay, it's enough now. So then it takes 1 hour for the rest of it.
Yeah.
But thank you, guys.
And our next one is from Fizz Endricist. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate that.
You.
And Sayed, who says, we managed to make the counter go to more than 10. Oh.
Yeah, it broke the counter. It broke,
wow.
like the super chats were coming so fast that it broke my counter, and it says 11 out of 10.
That's a
so
flex.
That's how fast you guys were. You broke the counter.
Yeah, it's a flex for sure.
Thank you, Sayed.
And thank you, Sayed. Soapbox, if you go back like 15 minutes, you'll catch the Alligram section. I know some people like that the most. And Fizendrisis, thank you very much for the super sticker once again. The third one. Appreciate that very much. And
thank you,
Sarah Ocean, who says, we love our A2 analysis hosts. Javid Shah.
Javid
Yeah.
Shah, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, that's us.
That's us.
Thank you, Sarah. And Black Cat, who's been a member for 2 months, says desperation mode. I mean,
yes.
Can we now it's stuck in my head that the former economic minister is saying there's going to be an uprising next month. That's an Islamic Republic official saying uprising and war next month at this rate.
Yes.
Maybe he's watching our show. When I was saying, hey, like late September, early October, even mid-October is going to be the window.
By this rate, Ali, maybe I think half of the officials of the Islamic Republic are watching our show.
Yeah. Then they get their boys to translate it.
Translated. This is why I have my Persian show, so they don't have to do that.
And our next one is from Wes Downer. Thank you for the super sticker, who also says,
Thank you.
it's hard to continue to project strength when you're no longer getting paid. Not
Yeah.
only are they no longer getting paid, Wes, the military members, they get their food from the government, right? So if you're a soldier in the military, the government gives you food, right? Well, they're getting spoiled food now. That's how bad it's getting. Previously, they were getting a single, pickle for lunch. Now they're getting spoiled food. Thank you, Wes, for the super chat. Completely agree.
Thank you.
And Curtis West, who says, too late for them to quit, lol. They still think they can make a deal that would make the U.S. back off. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, the problem is that again, this is a very weird situation that the Islamic Republic is in, right? Because the parts of the regime that want to go back to the negotiating table to give the Americans what they want, what the Americans want is changing, because the Operation Economic Fury is working too well. So the Americans are looking at the level of the desperation of the Islamic Republic, and they're increasing what they want. So the more the pressure, the higher the pressure gets, the more likely some people think that the more likely it is that a deal will happen, because it's going to push the Islamic Republic towards the negotiating table. But at the same time, even if the Islamic Republic tries to get to the negotiating table, it's also moving the demands of the United States, because they're noticing the level of desperation. And also the Islamic Republic is noticing that the more desperate they're getting, the higher the demands of the Americans are getting. So that's why the other side is like, forget it. We're not going to be able to, even if we wanted to make a deal with the Americans, we're not going to be able to make a deal with the Americans, because what they're asking keeps changing. So we might as well just go to war.
Yeah. They're going to exhaust that. Just lose-lose situation. But I mean, really, they're just trying to see if they can stretch this out closer to November and then just go all out. They know they have to fight a war regardless.
The Islamic Republic it has the same analysis as many of you guys in the chat, which might be accurate, that the Americans are not actually interested in a deal, that the whole talk about the deal was just a trap. And so some people within the Islamic Republic think there is no deal. The Americans are not going to agree to any deal. This was just always a trick to keep making them weaker and weaker.
That's why they're so mad at their government for giving in and try to making a deal and giving concessions. They're calling them idiots. The president is an idiot. Thank you, Curtis. And Lior, who's been a member for 4 months, says, praise be to Nala and Pucci, the real MVP.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Armin's dogs.
Guys, those are my baby girls. Those are my girls. Yes. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you, Leo.
Pucci looks like you, Leo, by the way. Right?
It's true.
Pucci and Leo are related, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Leo.
Your dogs are very cute.
Wow. Thank you.
And our next one is from Curtis West, who says, Trump shouldn't rush any deal with the regime. Yeah. Don't seem desperate to make a deal. I still remember when I was 14 and I saved enough money for a month to buy a soccer jersey. And then we went in and the owner was Israeli. And of this soccer shop for the jerseys, my parents thought that we could negotiate to lower the price of the jersey. And I was so embarrassed because the guy was like, okay, it's $70. I'm like, okay, here you go. And my parents looked at me like this. I'll never forget it. And they're like, you got to negotiate. And I got a whole lecture for an hour. I'm like, it's a retail store. You can't negotiate to lower the prices. It's America.
That's funny. That's amazing.
Yeah, but I rushed in to pay for it, and that was the problem.
Wait! I was in Shanghai, okay, and I was buying something, and I actually was really good at negotiating the price. Right, I made that. I managed to get 1/10 of the price that they were trying to sell something to me. I had the store owner chase me down the street, continuing negotiating with me, and then eventually going back to the store, and I got 1/10, which is impressive. I'm
Nice.
so proud of that. Yes, that was many years ago. They
Yeah.
thought they thought I'm a naive tourist. They could just sell it to me at whatever price. Like I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah, I'll just
I
go
know
to the
that.
guy down the street, you know? Like the
Yeah.
guy down the street said he's gonna sell it for me for, you know.
Yeah, yes.
Thank
For
you,
me,
Curtis.
at some point, Ali, it wasn't even about the item anymore, right? Like I didn't care. Like I wasn't at all interested in buying that thing. I was just trying to see how low I could get this price. Like it was about that. Like it turned into
Yeah.
a sport. Okay, yeah. Okay.
For you, my friend.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And our next one is from Nail Bunny with the 5 Liberty
you.
Politics memberships. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil Bunny. Always supporting us.
Yeah, always. Thank you so much.
Always
And
has my back.
your favorite
Dumb motherfucker. Sorry.
says unrelated. Discovered Haide recently, and my God, this woman can move me to the brink of tears. Iranian culture is
Oh.
S tier. Oh yeah.
Wow. This
Just so you
guy
guys
found
know.
the singer, famous Iranian singer. Wow, you like her? That's great. I didn't know non-Iranians. That's interesting that you found that. That's impressive.
Show with
Guys,
them.
Iranians,
We're
look at
talking
this. Yeah, that's her.
This is one of the. Is she the most famous
Yeah.
singer? Yeah, probably the most.
I would say so. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Iranians?
At least top 2 singers of all time in Iran. And if you haven't listened to her songs, it's Hayedeh. So the way that it was spelled here, it's like Hayedeeh. Her songs are beautiful. I grew up listening to a lot of them. My mom likes her. And thank you for that super chat. Great.
Thank you.
I can't listen to most of the older songs without crying for some reason. Because it invokes that feeling of like what we could have been to me. Like we could have kept that beautiful culture and built upon it, and instead we have this garbage leading our country. Thank you for the super chat. Our next one is from Channel.
That's very sweet of you.
Thanks. Channel, who says, none of the Islamic countries have advanced technological manufacturing, always imported or hired from abroad. The Jews, on the other hand, you saw Israel. Oh my God, I've been saying this for so long. The billions of dollars in the decades that the Arab countries had, what did that get them? Do they have a single internationally recognized brand? Does Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, do they have a single internationally recognized brand where they all got together and worked on it? None of them. Not one. Saudi Arabia supplies over 10% of global oil. Have you guys, any of you, before we covered it, did you know about the company called Aramco? No. It's not international. There's nothing that these guys have built from themselves and innovated. Nothing. Anyway. Thank you, Channel. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And also when their diaspora go abroad to America and Europe, do they achieve anything? Not going to say more about that. And our next one is from James Moore, who says, get some stump remover. High school chemistry taught me how to be a dangerous activist, one at a time if need be. Let's have automotive cutlet barbecues. As a great biblical figure said, I want my people to rise up. Dang, I mean, if these weren't in code, this would be like getting us kicked off of YouTube, I think.
Yes, so YouTube, just to be clear, we do not endorse. We are for peace, We do not endorse violence. Where we're having fun, and this is a joke. And and yes, we do not encourage any people to take any actions, and this is all a joke, and people are having fun.
This is a joke. Yeah.
Yes,
But
thank you,
James, for the super chat.
Wow,
We understand.
that was spicy. That was spicy
Yeah.
stuff. Thank you, James. Yes.
And Zip Gunnel, who says Trump derangement syndrome creates strange bedfellows.
Yes, you might start becoming allies of terrorists if you get too far with TDS.
Yep. Yeah. Every time, by the way, someone with TDS goes on American media, says something against Trump, the Islamic Republic takes that clip, posts it all over their media in Iran, and says, look, the Americans hate their own government. You're like, I thought you hated Americans. I thought you didn't trust what Americans say. Why are you believing them now? Thank you, Zip Gunnel. And GG Ryder says, Zionism is kind of like if people originally from Ghana formed a movement to go back to Ghana. Palestine was the Roman and British Kufar name for the region of South Syria, not an Arab country.
Yes, Palestine is an imperial name, foreign to the land, Western name, first Roman, then British, not native to the land at all. It's so foreign to the land that the people who live there can't even pronounce it. And that's why they have to change Palestine to Philistine, because they don't have the pe sound. The name Palestine is so foreign to that land that the Arabs who have picked it as the name of the land cannot even pronounce it. And they have to call it Philistine. That's how foreign it is. They're trying to say like Israel is an imperial colonization, while Palestine, Philistine, is native to the land. Really? Israel is in your Quran. Palestine is so foreign that you can't even pronounce it. Israel, the name Israel is in your Quran many, many times. The name Palestine hasn't been mentioned in your Quran once, and you can't even pronounce it. That's how foreign that is. The so-called anti-imperialists have picked the most imperial name for the land.
Bepsi. Thank you, GG Ryder. Appreciate that super chat. And our next one is from Bill Kennedy, who says, supporters seem to want reform, not change. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Why would they ever want to, completely destroy their own Islamic governance?
The problem is that there's two types of reform. The temporary reform and the actual reform that the jihadis want. So there's a reform that the so-called more pragmatic parts of the regime want, where they look more civilized and modern temporarily. That's one reform, to save the Islamic Republic. But then the more jihadi people, they want to reform as well, and they want to make the regime more Islamic, more anti-American, more anti-Israeli, more executions, right? More enforcement of Islamic laws. The problem is that both sides want the same thing. The more jihadi parts want Islamic enforcement of Islamic laws to happen now, right? That's the reform that they want. The so-called more pragmatic ones, they want temporarily to move away from it so that they could eventually come back to them. So you see, guys, the difference between the so-called hardliners and reformers is not that one side wants more Islam and one side wants less Islam. The difference is that one side thinks to get more Islam, we should temporarily have less Islam and then eventually come back to having more Islam. That is the difference. It's not that the difference is not that they have different goals. The difference is that they have different methods.
But if those supporters want reform and they hate the current government and then they don't show up to support the current government, that's something that really benefits the Iranian people. Get your average Basij IRGC guy who's like, I don't know if I want to support this government anymore. Am I killing Iranians to help this government survive? yeah, I might not show up the next time. I might leave it to someone else to do the suppressing. Thank you, Bill Kennedy. And Shauna says, when restaurants are placed near each other, both shops do better statistically. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
was
they
like one of the
increase traffic
first.
to their
Yeah,
because they increase traffic to the area.
yeah, that was like one of the first lessons in high school for econ class, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you.
True.
True.
Oh, our troll says, Salam, Armin and Ali. Looking good today, mashallah.
Okay, you Jew hater, I think this is more your type, okay? I think this is more your type.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Anyway. And
Yes.
I think you started this one.
Yes. Malaki Namaki is saying Pucci is Lior. So it's not that Lior and Pucci look like each other. Pucci and Lior are the same people. And also from now, is Malaki Namaki good name for her? Malaki Namaki. Malaki means queen. Namaki means salty. So Malaki Namaki means the salt queen. So I don't know. I'm going to call her Malaki Namaki.
That reminds me of that tongue twister in Farsi, like the dusta man dusta raba dusta. You know that one?
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. By the way, Lior lives with me apparently, so that's great.
Oh wow, interesting.
We're roommates. Yes.
Guys, there's a tongue twister in Farsi that's like, my friend wants to be friends with your friend. Does your friend want to be friends with my friend? And it. Let me try.
Okay, try.
Dusta man dusta raba dusta to duspisha. Dusta riba dusta man ke dusta raba dusta to duspisha duspishi.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. I don't think I could do that. Wow, have you been practicing that?
I say it from time to time. Yeah, like every couple of weeks, I think. I get reminded of it. It's like my favorite tongue twister.
Okay, how about this? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Can you do that?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh, that was very good. Okay, that's good. I can't do what you did though.
All right. And our next one is from in server, which means
the salt knight.
He's back, and he says, if financial pressure was the ultimate move, then what was the deal with the MOU? Where in the 5D chess cycle are we? Financial pressure was not the ultimate move. The ultimate move is the Iranian people rising up. But you already know that. The deal with the MOU, they tried. They tried at some point to make a legit deal. That completely failed, and I think everyone in the Iranian opposition could tell you that it would have failed no matter what. Where in the 5D chess cycle are we now?
There was never a 5D chess. There were never a 5D chess because 5D chess suggests that everything was planned ahead of time, and that's not how things go in war. Like you could make smart strategies, or sometimes you could make like less intelligent plans. But if you look at the history of war, it's normal for things to not go exactly the way you anticipated. Like that's true even with the world superpower and even with Israel. But the 5D chess suggests that like all the chess pieces were placed in the exactly right place and everything is going according to a pre-made plan. And that is obviously an exaggeration. But what we could say that right now the Islamic Republic is suffering and it's getting weaker every day. Is it happening in a way that we find it ideal? No. I think Ali would agree that my preference and Ali's preference and probably your preference was for United States and Israel to just go and take out every single person within the regime over the next 24 hours. And they should have done this like maybe months ago, right? Just wipe them all out. Just wipe everyone out. Just clean everything out, right? So that's what we want. And that's not what we're getting. But it's undeniable that whatever the Americans are doing is significantly weakening the Islamic Republic. And no, financial pressure, as Ali correctly said, was not originally the plan. But now it's the plan. It's working. It's not what we would have chosen, but it is working.
Yeah. They basically set themselves up. If they choose option A or option B, it will still weaken the Islamic Republic. And they tried different avenues. Whatever they did, though, did weaken them.
Yes. And Ali, one main reason why this is not the path we would chosen and we would have gone for escalation is because this is really difficult on the Iranian people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for the super chat. I think InServer still thinks that we believe that from the get-go, like from minute one, this was all an elaborate plan from Donald Trump, like a genius plan who foresaw the future and all these billions of variables to get us where we are now. That's just not the case. I think we did a pretty good job actually analyzing which paths he took and what effects it has, rather than, oh yeah, don't worry guys, Trump's like the master plan and everything worked perfectly. We actually criticized him a fair amount.
Yeah, we praised him a fair amount. I criticized a fair amount. But
Yeah.
I do appreciate, but I think InServer is, I'm glad that you're here because your pushbacks are very helpful. So thank you for being here.
Yeah. And thank you for the super chat. Our next one is from Shauna, who says, I think Trump initially wanted to make a deal, but realized it was impossible. So now we've upgraded to Plan Scotty B.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much that's the summary. He did want to make a deal at some point, finally realized that he can't make a deal, even if you take away layers of the Islamic Republic and bring the negotiators up to the front, still can't make a deal. And I think, though, that Scotty B came to him and was like, hey, I can do this. And Trump was like, oh, okay, let's see what you can do.
I actually think that President Trump still prefers a deal if he could get that. But the good thing is that I think it's also close to impossible to get a deal with these people. And also, even though I think that President Trump still would prefer a deal, I think in the attempt to try to get a deal out of them, he's making them weaker, which works in our favor.
You know, every passing day, I think it's harder for Trump to accept a deal, in my opinion.
Yes.
Thank you, Shauna. We agree with that.
Sure.
And instead of Vashi Vash, it's Infidel Vash. It says,
yes.
admin, play her perform in Israel, please.
I think that's an autocorrect of my name.
Oh, maybe Haida. Maybe he was talking about
Haida.
her.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to play her performance in Israel?
Yeah, can we do that next time? We're a little bit over, and
yes, we're over time. So
for something.
Let's remember that. Let's remember that for Vashi. Vashi, we will do that. Okay, and thank you.
But thank you so much for the super chat. We will. And Steak and Bean says Israel is mentioned in the Quran more than Muhammad, 43 times versus 4.
4, and it's actually that's a very good point, Steak and Beans. And let me tell you a secret. Only one of those 4 times is clear that the Muhammad is referring to the Prophet of Islam as a name of a person. 3 of those 4 times comes from older versions of the Quran where the name Muhammad is actually referring to Jesus, not Muhammad. So this is a big topic that I'm not going to get into, but Muhammad originally was not the name of the Prophet of Islam. Originally, it came from a Christian sect, and Muhammad meant the praised, like Muhammad Rasulullah. So Muhammad means the praised one, right? So that's a big topic. So Muhammad as the prophet of God, as the prophet of Islam, has been mentioned once, technically. But that's a big topic that I'm not going to go. Yes, it was a title. So Magnum gets it. The title of Jesus Christ.
And thank you, Steak and Beans,
Thank
for
you.
that super chat. Our next one is from James Moore. I'm not sure if I should say that, but I think they're referring to the tongue twister of Sally sells seashells by the seashore. I think that one.
Okay, read that. What does it say? She shall sue a slit sheet shut. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I was definitely going to mispronounce that one, though. Thanks, James. Almost got us with that one, too.
Okay.
And appreciate that super chat.
Thank
And
you,
then
James.
InServer says, maybe, I think you always thought he did no wrong, except we never said that.
We never said that. We criticized and praised President Trump, and we bragged about the fact that we both criticize him and praise him. In fact, I have years of praising and criticizing Trump before any of this happened.
But also understand that we were so excited after a president like Biden, who helps the Islamic Republic so much more than you guys think, that we got someone who was willing to come in and kill officials of the Islamic Republic, conduct a blockade, all of this. Got to give credit where credit is due.
And even when we have criticism, because obviously you're never going to be 100% in agreement with anybody. At the end of the day, I'm never going to forget, and I will continue to be grateful for the fact that President Trump is part of the reason why Khamenei is dead. He's not the only reason. The reasons are the Iranian people, Princess of Pahlavi, Israel, and President Trump. If President Trump was not the president of the United States, Ali Khamenei would be alive today. So I will never forget that. As an Iranian, I will always be grateful for that. Always would be grateful for that. Also, it is true because this is also true because President Trump is the president of the United States. The Islamic Republic right now is the weakest it has ever been. So not everything is going to go the way that we want, but this is true. But what I'm saying is objectively true. So I could be grateful and criticize at the same time.
Correct. And then thank you for the super chat. And then I think we should figure out how to deal with this, in your opinion. This person changed their profile pic to Shauna's.
Oh. Don't highlight her.
Yeah.
Don't highlight her.
And then our next one is from Bill Kennedy. Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to ban him.
Okay.
If you do that. If you do that to people, if you do that to our people, we're going to ban you. Okay, I banned you because of you change your profile.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Bill Kennedy with the super chat who says, plans change, goals don't. IRGC can't have nukes. I want you guys to think about this for a second. I say this all the time. You destroy all the nuclear facilities of the Islamic Republic, but the Islamic Republic stays in power. Do you think they will ever give up on building nukes? So when they say they can never have nuclear weapons, that will also mean he's leaving himself room to conduct regime change, because that is also a way, or perhaps the only way, for the Islamic Republic to never get nuclear weapons. They have to go. They'll never stop. So that's why I don't think things like nuking Pickaxe Mountain is ever going to work, is never going to be a thing, in my opinion. What's it going to accomplish? Nothing. And thank you.
But guys, admins, people coming and spreading their garbage ideas here, we're not going to ban that because we want to see it and we want to respond to it. But creepy behavior towards other people in the chat is not going to be tolerated. Okay, so against me is fine, but if anybody has creepy behavior like that towards other people in the chat, then that's ban worthy. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they do it against me, it's fine. But not the people in the chat.
Yeah, I guess us personally, against same thing as me, totally fine with that. But all right. Yeah, sorry about that, Shauna. And that was us for today, guys. Please remember to subscribe. Consider subscribing to both of our channels, Ali Samani and Liberty Politics. We're here every single day. And we will be here tomorrow.
Yes, same time tomorrow. And thank you to everybody who's liking the stream. You guys are, I hope you guys know how much that helps. Like it really helps. So I appreciate everybody who has liked the stream. And we'll see, as Ali said, we'll see you again same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian, Cuba Libre, Taiwan Jiayo, Long Live America,
Long live America.
Javid Shah,
Javid Shah,
Payende,
Payende,
Iran.
Iran.
See you guys.